Thanks for the explanation. You earned a sub. Can you explain how aura and magic works? Thanks for this video. From Renum Ketchum. This was a comment on my Avon Strash Explained video, and while I've talked about one of the aura types, Dragonic Aura, I have yet to discuss magic, until this video of course. Now if it wasn't apparent from me mentioning Dragonic Aura, I'm going to be talking about magic and how it operates in Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken. Even if you're just a fan of the Dragon Quest games, I implore you to watch this video as magic and Dai works similar, and Dragon Quest Dai is a fantastic anime/manga. So with introductions out of the way, let's go. To use magic, you must first form a pact. A pact is a ritual of sorts where you bond with a spell for usage. Magic is not as commonplace as you might be led to believe. While most of the main cast typically uses it, a lot of the common folk cannot bond with magic, and the humans who can bond with it have compatibility limits to the amounts of spells they can form a bond with. Forming pacts is how humans use magic, but beings like Flazzard can most likely just use magic innately. This might be the same case for monsters and darklings. To use magic, you also must have magic power. Think of it as kind of like stamina, but for magic. Spells cannot be used indefinitely, and once you run out of juice, you're gonna have to wait until your magic power recharges with some rest. Now, I will be grouping magic into three categories: offensive, recovery, and tactical magic. So starting with offensive magic. These are elemental and attack type spells like Frizz, a fire spell, and Boom, an explosion type spell. There are other elemental spells such as Whoosh, a wind spell, Crack, a ice spell, and Zapple, a lightning spell. In general, offensive spells can have variations, for instance Boom and Kaboom. They are both explosion type spells, but Kaboom is stronger. The more potent the spell, the more magic power it requires. Getting into lightning spells, they're kind of special because they can only be used by a Dragon Knight. They are unique beings created by the gods, so they have some special privileges. Offensive elemental magic can be combined with weapons or other elemental spells. Examples of this include Dai casting Frizz on his sword for a more powerful Earth Slash, and Pop combining fire and ice magic to create Madroa, an extremely powerful annihilation spell. Next up is recovery magic. These are healing type spells or resurrection spells. From what I've seen in the show, healing spells can relieve the body of pain, bruises, and cuts, but if you lose a limb, you're probably going to have to hold that. Healing spells have variations like offensive spells, mid-heal, more heal, and full heal, with full heal being the most effective. Resurrection spells bring back those who have recently perished. Zing is the only one of these spells that we see in Dragon Quest Dai, unlike the many varieties that we see in the Dragon Quest games. According to Merely, even with an experienced mage, Zing has less than a 50% chance to revive the dead. It's important to note, recovery magic can be used offensively. Examples of this are Mam's Refractor Fist, which heals the target to the point of permanent cell deterioration. Mam's move was inspired by Overheal, a spell with the same effect. Even medicine can become dangerous if you overdose. Think of it like that. The final category is tactical magic. This is just where I put every other kind of magic. Things like Zoom that can teleport you to places you have been before. This can be used for transportation, of course, but also for repositioning yourself in battle. Levy Zoom, which is essentially flight, Bounce, which can reflect projectiles, Kaklang, which turns your body into steel and negates magic attacks, the Puff spell that transforms the user into a dragon. As you can see, magic can do many different things in Dragon Quest Dai. Another category that I wanted to talk about that I did not mention earlier is forbidden magic. Saved this one for the end of the video. They reduce the lifespan of their caster and are outside what humans should normally mess with. An example of this is 5 Finger Flares, where you cast 5 Kafrizz spells at once. Kafrizz is a offensive fire spell of the highest level. While Flazzard could use a technique like this with no backlash, a human should not use this spell, even though Pop has done it anyway, but he didn't know any better at the time. What is your favorite spell? Mine is Kazap, the most powerful version of the lightning spell line. Subscribe for weekly Dragon Quest content, check the description if you want to support me, and I'll talk to you next time. Join me and transcend humanity. Later.